Hi, my name is Becky Smith. This is my second class in the doctoral program in psychology at GCU. I took a look at the syllabus for this course and I'm really excited. I like the idea that I get a second crack at social psychology. When I was an undergraduate at UCLA, I took psychology and social psychology, and I could not relate to any of the concepts. I didn't really understand what a behavior was, or an emotion, or a relationship. It didn't make sense to me. I couldn't get my arms around it. So I decided not to go in that direction. I shifted into environmental sciences. That was more tangible for me. I could see rocks. I could touch rocks. I still love rocks. I'm really fascinated by mountain building. I am fascinated by plate tectonics and living here in California, I get to see all kinds of evidence of that. So, needless to say, I went and that's what my undergraduate work was environmental sciences. And I ended up working for many years as an urban planner in environmental sciences. I worked on interdisciplinary teams with engineers and lawyers, and it's kind of ironic. I could not get the concepts of behavior and emotions and relationships, but I was a great conceptual thinker as a planner. So go figure. And during all this time, I also served 12 years in the Army, and that had nothing to do with rocks. I was in healthcare and logistics management. And then there came a point where my maternal instincts kicked in. I resigned my commission in the Army. I was a captain at the time, to have a family. I now have a 19-year-old son and a 17-year-old daughter. I met my husband in college, but he went back in the Army also, and we ended up getting married on my lunch hour, literally, and that's a story for another time. But, it's been 25 years now, and we're still married and going strong. So anyway, once I gave birth, then I started to experience these things called emotions and behaviors. It's like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I didn't even know I had those feelings. And just to rewind a second, I left home when I was 18. I put myself through school. I didn't have my first car till I was 26. I went to a different school every year growing up. I went through 3 different dads, fathers, stepfathers, whatever you call them. And so I didn't do very well in building human connections because I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what it looked like. And maybe that's why I didn't get into psychology in the beginning, because I couldn't relate. So as I was going through my own personal therapy, learning about myself and experiencing a new self-awareness, I got really fascinated by the process of learning because I was learning so much. So I went and got my graduate degree in education, but I was still afraid of people. So I got my graduate degree in online teaching and learning. So I'm still safe because I've got the technology there, but I could still be a part of the learning process. It's so fascinating for me. But then as I started to do a lot of volunteer work as a parent and getting involved in my kids' schools, I went and I got 2 teaching credentials in multiple subjects from kindergarten through 6th grade, and special education from kindergarten through age 22. And I focused on the moderate to severe credential, which means the behavior training was very, very extensive. And it was at that time where I finally could get my arms around what behavior was. In that program, I learned how to quantify behavior. I could pinpoint what it looks like. I could give it an operational definition. I could plot it. I could recommend modifications and management strategies. It's all been fascinating, and it takes a lot of practice. It's not something that you can just pick up right away. I mean, here I'm going into my 8th year, and I still have a lot to learn. So anyway, I taught teenagers with autism for about 3 years, and then I wanted to go into the classroom and be a general education teacher. It's a whole different experience, but I wanted that experience. And I had special needs kids in my classroom. I had a lot of students who were slower learners. I had students who had ADHD. Our public education system doesn't really support those kids. If you can't keep up, then you're discriminated against. I don't know how else to say it. And then they want to come up with all these different intervention programs. And my heart would just go out to these kids. I mean, my philosophy is everyone can learn. I believe that technology can be an enabler in that regard. I think it can personalize the learning experience. That's why I'm in this program. I'm interested in the psychology behind the end user experience of technology, using technology to learn, and primarily with the underserved population of the slower learners, even if it be students with autism who can also learn. You know, they have the same needs we do. We all want to participate and contribute. And I guess that's why we're here in these kinds of programs, so we can find ways to do that. So I'm really excited to be in this class. I look forward to meeting all of you. I do still feel awkward doing this. I want to close now. I don't want to be a chatty Cathy, but I do invite you to come visit me on my Facebook. You can go to facebook.com/teachersmitty, or just do a keyword search Rebecca Munoz Smith and do a friend request, and I will acknowledge it. I hope you'll invite me to your Facebook page if you have one. So I look forward to it. I hope others take the risk in doing one of these videos also. See you soon.